cappuccino and fish fresh from the sea, chips from the casino.
Howdy, Trevor.
How are you, okay?
I'm okay. How are you doing?
I'm doing okay, a bit frantic because I couldn't seem to log in. I bought this new laptop, having had the previous one for, I don't know, about 5 or 6 years, and it was good, never a problem with it, but it was getting very slow. So I bought a new one, I think at Christmas time, and ever since then, it plays me up. It won't always log in properly. And then it was saying that I tried the password too many times, so it was locking me out. Anyway, I had another couple of goes and it seemed to work, so all is well.
Sorry about that. Should we sue the manufacturers or the persons who you purchased it from?
Yeah, absolutely. That's
You can tell she likes suing, can't you?
You know,
I'm struggling on sound a bit at the moment from you both.
Yeah. All right, cool. All right. Can you hear me? Can everyone hear me?
I can
hear you.
Oh, that's good.
I can hear you.
All right.
I can hear you too as well.
Yeah, I was just saying, you can tell that she's a lawyer, can't you? She's always talking about suing.
Oh, yeah. we'll use your services if we get desperate, I think, Phantom.
Yeah.
All right. No trouble at all.
Good to see everyone.
Same here.
Yeah. So I'm just going to do a quick introduction. So welcome to the Alien Spaceship with myself, Emmy Hikins, and
me, Trevor Gear.
And our lovely guest,
Phantom.
Good. Right, so did you see what I sent to you, Trevor?
I did.
This
I did
guy,
see it, but I've got it.
Yeah, this guy called Cornelius. I can't remember his last name now. Anderson, yeah, Cornelius Anderson. Anyway, the guy seemed to have cheated death. Well, not really, not in those terms anyway. But he seemed to have escaped prison. Did anyone?
Like, I don't know how your system, if that happened in Nigeria, I'll say, of course, it's Nigeria, anything goes. But like, for that to happen in US, someone evaded prison for over 10 years, man, that guy is good. Or the system, something, as in, like, I don't know, his ancestors are should be amazing. I'm
telling you. And they didn't realize it, Trevor. I don't know if you had a time.
Until the sentence was over.
No,
I think I've missed out here. I'm not quite clear on what you're talking about, to be honest. I've got your list, but I missed what you said. Tell me again.
Yeah,
please.
So there's an American guy by the name Cornelius Anderson. And I think he committed a crime. So I think he burgled. He burgled
the place. He burgled the supermarket.
Right. So it's and anyway, they were able to trace back the crime back to him. He had his day in court. And he was sentenced to, I think, 10 or 11 years in prison.
Yeah.
Thereabout. Anyway, what happened was he then went home or something, and he went back to his lawyers. So he went back to tell his lawyers that so when are they going to take me into prison, to serve my sentence? And the lawyer said, "Oh, don't worry about it. They'll never forget. They'll definitely come for you." He said, "All right." So he actually went. Yeah. So he went to the police as well, and they never paid. They said, "Right, when we're ready, we'll come for you." And that happened, and that took this whole process took 10 years, right? So he's serving he was supposed to serve an 11-year sentence or something. So at the end of at the expiration of his sentence, they then realized that he wasn't in prison.
The day he was supposed to be released, they now found out that he was never in prison in the first place.
Wow.
Can you beat that? Can you just beat that? Like, it's so hilarious. Then they now woke up like, oh, we have to take him to prison. Like, hello, the term has passed.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so then they now went back for him to say, well, you'll have to serve your sentence. And there were a lot of public outrage, you know, saying that he's reformed his life, he had a driver's license.
Yes, he has become a better person. He has helped a lot of persons in the community and all that.
And that's how he escaped a 10-year.
So he didn't go to prison.
No, he didn't go to prison.
Wow.
No. I think
he self-defended at home.
Yeah,
being a good citizen.
Yeah. So that was it then. And that's really strange for that sort of thing to happen in America.
Strange. It has never happened.
Don't you think, Trevor?
Especially in America, of all places.
I know.
I mean, they're pretty tough, aren't they? On criminals and crime.
Yeah. This is a sort of thing that you would see in a movie and you think, well, right, someone wrote this.
This is not going to happen.
Yeah,
like, this is fiction.
I know, it's not real, you know. And then that actually happened. Yeah. So, you know, never say never, Trevor. You know?
He had an unusual name, didn't he? Cornelius. Except through the system, perhaps. Cornelius Anderson.
The ninth man from the Bible.
It's like the most luckiest guy in the world, literally. You know.
I'm telling you, it has to be.
The most luckiest guy in the world. I mean, everything was duly documented. It wasn't like, oh, we've lost his record or whatever, you know. And you know, I wonder who was serving the prison sentence for him. I don't even get it. So
like, don't they take counts of prisoners every day, like something? Someone maybe they click in, or you know, breakfast time or something.
Yeah. And they must have done all that roll call and everything. This guy's not there. Oh, Cornelius Anderson. Oh, he's not here. You know, and nobody ever for 10 years bothered to. It was
the day that he needed to leave.
I know.
Maybe that day they were doing a roll call, like, okay, it's time for you to leave, Anderson. And he's nowhere to be found. Like, where is Cornelius Anderson, everyone? It's like watching Home Alone again. Like, everyone is looking for.
I tell you,
the thing is, though, it doesn't sound like a series of mistakes. It's too weird for that. If he was going along regularly trying to get himself into prison and he kept being told they will come for you, clearly something. It was almost like there was a conspiracy behind it, that for some reason he mustn't go to prison. Perhaps he knew something too much on somebody else. Who knows what? But I don't believe that's a series of mistakes.
Like,
in an otherwise very tough system. You know,
tell you, it was really weird. When I read about it, I thought, dear me, you know. And I actually Googled it, and it was real. I thought it was just somebody making some stories or something. Yeah, it was actually real. So Trevor, there's something else that that caught my attention.
Yes, you could put down Zinedine Zidane.
Oh yeah, do you remember him? Do you remember Zinedine Zidane?
Yes, very good footballer. Very good footballer. Do you remember how he finished his career, really, though?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I remember him for. You know, I know he's a good footballer. You know, French. I think it's French international, wasn't it?
Yes, he was.
Who's that?
Zinedine Zidane.
Okay.
So this guy is a really amazing footballer. He's really good. He's a French footballer back in the days, and he ended his career. I don't know, Trevor. Do you want to tell her how he ended his career?
Well, it was in an international, wasn't it? An important international game. At least I think it was an international game.
It was a final.
Was playing for,
it was the final
yeah.
between Brazil and France.
Right, so it was an international, and I think with a few minutes to go, he lost his temper with someone on the opposition, and he went up to them and he head-butted them. As far as I remember, he head-butted them in the chest, and he was instantly sent off. And that was his last international game.
That was his last game.
Yeah.
Wow.
He was a wonderful footballer.
Yeah.
But he had a temper.
Yeah. And that's what everyone seems to remember him with. Just that incident, him losing his temper. That's why I remember him for, you know. Because I remember
he went on to become manager of Real Madrid, where he had a huge amount of success until a couple of years ago, and then he came back there, having previously left. I think he won the league championship again, and then left them again. So he was a bit of an enigma, this Zinedine. But yeah, he was a wonderful footballer on his day. Yeah. He really was.
It was. Yeah, it was a great footballer. Yeah. I suppose you do get people like that that have these successful careers, and then they go and spoil it with something really stupid. Don't you?
Very relevant.
Say again?
Something that they had control. I said something that they could have had control over.
Absolutely, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Just yeah. So there's something that came into my mind today, Phantom, and I thought, because you're here, because Trevor and I probably wouldn't have been able to give it that much of the attention it needs. So I just thought, at what point, right, does a guy that's been friends with a girl for years, at what point do they now go and say they want to change that? And what are the dangers to that? And I'm asking because you're a girl, from a girl's perspective.
Well, it varies. I can't say there's like a standard or there's a measuring tape, right? M can meet me today and like, hey girl, I want to marry you.
Right. From
day one, right? And M can meet Beyonce and say, oh, I think let's start being friends. Okay. And it could be 2-3 years. And I'm like, hey, yeah, we're taking these two. And okay, let's go see our folks and let's get it all tied up in knots and all of that, right?
Right.
But I think previously, it used to be more of shorter dating time, shorter dating spans. But now it's a case of, I think people date for years, like 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and I'm like, what are you waiting? What are you getting to know the person? You marry this person and you still get to know what you need to know. So why keeping the whole long thread and because for us who are a little religious, I don't want to be like, okay, for us who are Jehovah's Witnesses, right?
Yeah.
Because that the people out there, they feel it's okay to, sleep, to get to know themselves better before the whole tying the knots and saying I do, right? We don't have that luxury.
Right, okay.
So having to date someone for 4 years, 5 years, dude, what are you waiting for? Are you wanting Satan the devil to get to the equation? What does put the whole thing together and marry and live happily ever after, if you guys get to live happily ever after,
Right.
But there's no yardstick though. Some people, they jump at it, meet themselves 3 months, 6 months, and they get to live happily ever after for a long time. Some people just get to date for 8, 10 years. I had a friend who dated for 10 years. I'm not kidding you. She's a lawyer. The boyfriend was an engineer. They dated for 10 years. They got married. The marriage did not last 1 year. I'm not joking. So I don't think it's about the amount of years.
Yeah. All right. Well, over to you, Trevor.
Well, in fact, just what Phantom said, I used to have a friend some years ago, and he and she, but I knew both of them very well, and they went out together for 7 years, and I guess even going back whenever it was, 20, 25 years ago, there was more people getting married then than perhaps there are today. I think a lot of people are quite content to stay unmarried for whatever reasons. Yes. Anyway, they did get married after 7 years, and similar to what you said, Phantom, it lasted just under a year, and they divorced, and that was the end of the relationship. So it was like something happened or happens when you tie the knot formally, legally, and get married. I don't know, maybe people feel they are then tied for life, sort of in their mind, and that's uncomfortable. Or I don't know, it's a hard one to suggest the answer, but it's a situation I've heard quite a few times actually over the years, that people, if they do get married after a long time together, even after they've had their kids, it can, not always, but it can go wrong at that stage.
Yeah. Do you think it's the pressure that's linked with, you know, actually getting married? I think because the planning and all that, you know, and do you think that's what it is? I mean, I think
that's part of it.
Yeah,
that's probably part of it.
Yeah, that could add to it. And I feel sometimes this whole commitment thing, when they are partners, right, there's this no pressure. Like Oprah Winfrey now, she has a partner, and she has had this partner for over 35 years. Who knows, maybe if she had married the man, they probably wouldn't have lasted that long. So there's no pressure on, maybe there's no pressure when they're just partners, they're just living their lives and taking each day as it comes. No one is putting a gun to someone's head, right? But when there's a commitment, when they say I do, a rings are exchanged, maybe there's this pressure or there's this air of like, hey, you have to be prim and proper. I think when they don't do this, I do, walk down the altar, they are still prim and proper, because we've never heard Oprah's partner have cheated, right? Jay-Z, who is happily married to Beyonce, every other day we hear stories and that, right? But then I like to think it's just would I say the human tendency in us that feels that, oh, we are being restricted, I'm being tied down, I want to be free. So this thing is giving me too much pressure. I'm like, I'm in a bondage, right? But when there's no knot, there's everyone, eat, go, wake up and move as you go. It's like a free entry, so no one is scared that, oh, they're tying me down, I'm being committed, I'm being tied to one person. Why should I be tied to one person all the days of my life? That kind of stuff.
I was just thinking about the I was just thinking, so would it been easier if they got married before starting the relationship? Well, obviously you have to start a relationship that lead to marriage, but I was just thinking, is it like would it have been easier if they just, you know, got married rather than, you know, rather than linger and then get cold feet, or well, anyway, right. So
we'll just pick up on that. Because I think, excuse me, when people first meet and fall for each other, that sort of, those wonderful magical feelings, and however any particular person or couple describe those feelings, it's a wonderful feeling. You know, life is great and everything seems brilliant, you know, the sky is more blue and all the rest of it. But actually, I think not statistically, but psychologically, those powerful, very powerful initial feelings are only there in the way that they are, maybe for 3 to 6 months, I think psychologists would say, and then the relationship changes, because it can no longer literally be a novelty, which means new in itself.
Yeah.
And people perhaps see each other differently. They get to know much more about each other. I think it takes a good few years to get to know somebody, but certainly in the first flush of a romance,
yeah,
people only show what they want to show of themselves. I mean, that's true of all of us in any sort of friendship. But over time in a new relationship, after 3, 4, 5, 6 months, you can't help, I suggest, but show your true colours in many ways. And that's not to say those true colours are bad necessarily, but as I say, in the first flush of a relationship, people are doing everything they can to sort of show how much they're in love and how much they want to do for that person. But it changes, and presumably in many cases, and it used to be in my own case, the relationship gradually develops into